Hi, so today I am excited to share with you some of the shift in the housing that I have noticed here in the Salt Lake City, Utah area, and we're going to go ahead and get started right now. Mariah Koehle here. Welcome back to the channel. This channel is literally everything you need to know about eating, working, playing, sleeping, and living in the Salt Lake City, Utah area. If that is of interest to you, consider subscribing down below so you don't miss a thing. We hear from people like you all the time, and we absolutely love it. So if you're thinking about making a move to the Beehive State or thinking about relocating, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and we'd love to connect. All right, so yes, these last couple of months here in Utah have been interesting for the housing market. So today I'm going to share with you just a few things that I have personally noticed, and other agents that I have talked to, other investors, and people who are, very heavily involved in the real estate market here in the Salt Lake City, Utah area, what we're seeing, what we're noticing, and we're going to go ahead and get started right now. So number one is definitely going to be the interest rates. So because we have had such low interest rates, 2%, 3%, right? Those are not normal average interest rates. Those are historically low, so low, right? Well, because all of a sudden, yes, interest rates have increased 4%, 5%. We're getting into 5.5% in some places, right? So because of the increase of interest rates, we have noticed a slowing in the increase in the rising of house prices, which is normal, and that's exactly what ends up happening. But because homes that are typically in the millions or above the millions, I have noticed personally in that price range that those house prices, they were just increasing. Over the last, I'd say month and a half, in fact, I have not seen those houses increase. I have seen them decrease, and they have decreased significantly. So because of the interest rates rising, even though they are historically low, interest rates at 4.5%, 5.5%, they're still very low. In fact, let me share a quick story with you. When my husband and I bought our first house together way back in 2005, I remember we were so excited. At the time, I was an elementary teacher. He's a tax accountant. And I remember we, basically pooled together every cent that we owned and, what we qualified for. We were just so excited to be able to buy a house. At the time, we were living down in Southern California. We purchased our first house in Oceanside, California. Again, we were just beyond excited. But to get in as an elementary teacher and a tax accountant, we had two mortgages that we were paying on our house. Our first mortgage, our interest rate was 5.5%, which we were like, oh my gosh, this is so low, right? And then the second one was 7.75%. Now, and this wasn't any kind of, extravagant, this was a first time home buyer sort of house, right? 1,200 square feet, nothing fancy. And at any rate, we were just over the moon excited to qualify and to get into that house. Well, little did we know, yes, over time that house appreciated and is, worth a lot more than what we bought it for. And eventually we were able to refinance our house and condense those loan amounts. But having those two mortgages and having it at that interest rate, we were just, again, like I said, we were excited to get in. But now people here having one mortgage at a 4.5% or 5%, people are going, what is going on? This is so crazy. This is so high. But that, so that shift that we have been seeing has been created a lot by the interest rates. So that's the first one, just the increase in interest rates, but they are still historically low. So just keep that in mind if you're thinking like, oh, is it too late to move to Utah? Is it too late to buy a house? It's not still too late. And in fact, house prices, like I've seen, have been coming down because of those interest rates increasing It has caused house prices to decrease slightly and I'm seeing a leveling off right now. So that's number one with interest rates. All right, so number two that I am noticing in the shift in the market, over the last couple of years, especially with COVID, we have seen such a limited amount of inventory. We've seen limited inventory in houses. And because of that, it has created the seller's market. It has created, buyers are lucky if they're one of 4 offers in a house, right? And trying to win the house. And so it's been very much a seller's market. Well, I'm going to give you an interesting story here in just a minute, but I am starting to see more of a shift into a buyer's market, and it's still sellers, but more buyers, right? More in favor of buyers. And this is why inventory has increased significantly in the last couple months, right? We know that spring, summer, those are typically where we're going to see the most inventory. Well, because of this too, there's more houses on the market. The houses are sitting for much longer. Before, like the last couple of months, houses here in the Salt Lake City, Utah Valley area have been on the market for 6-7 days has been average with multiple offers. Well, right now we are seeing something different. We are not seeing that same intensity. We are not seeing as many offers. I had a family recently that was looking at a house in Alpine, Utah, and the seller has been, wanting to sell, and they have reached out to us several times because we toured the house. My clients were interested, but they wanted to keep looking and pursuing, other possibilities. Well, this seller needs to sell, and they needed to sell yesterday. So not only did they they had a huge price reduction, but they have continued to reach back out saying, hey, you know what, we might be able to offer you this incentive and that incentive. And so not only a price decrease, but also some urgency on their part as well, which helps the buyers in this market as well. Going along with that inventory, I have seen builders putting out builder incentive, and we have not seen builders put out builder incentives for a long time. I just toured a few houses recently. Toll Brothers, Symphony Homes, they are doing some major incentives. They're doing some lender incentives. They are doing some design specials incentives. And they are even taking off. I've noticed some of them have done lot premium incentives where they are giving, money toward that. So there have been lots of different incentives that I have been seeing. So that is also a shift, having the interest rates, having more inventory than we have seen in a very long time are a couple of different, part of that shift that we've also noticed. And then number 3, because there were so many people during the COVID time that were locked down and we're feeling like, we need more space, a lot of that has gotten situated. A lot of that has gotten settled. People are becoming comfortable where they're at, and there is not this urgency because COVID restrictions have been lifted in many places. People are out and about and they're getting to do those different things, and lots of jobs are, yes, there's still many that, you can work from home, but there are also many companies that are requiring you to go back into the office as well. So I'm seeing a lot of, people that are needing to go back in the office, so they're not spending as much time as they were before at home. So there's not that urgency to, oh man, I need to, do all these household projects because I'm here every single day, right? There has been a difference in that. So that's going to be number 3 for me, is there's not that urgency to pick up and move right now. And number 4, last but not least, this is something that I have also noticed. Before, people were, many people who had thought about selling in the past were like, I'm not going to sell because where in the world am I going to go, right? Where am I going to go? But now, because the inventory, there are more homes on the market now. people are starting to think, oh, well, you know what? Actually, I can go somewhere, but with interest rates increasing, maybe I don't want to, or maybe they do sell and they do. So there's a lot more options right now, whereas before there were not as many options. So again, interest rates have increased, which are causing a softening in house prices that I have noticed, and a slowing down. Because there is more inventory, if you are looking to buy or to sell, this is still a great time because interest rates are low. There's a lot more inventory of houses that we are seeing on the market. And then again, there is that, not as much of an urgency for some people to like pick up and move because they're going back to the office and they're doing that. So for me, those have been the things that I have noticed the most with just the shift in the market. So is it too late to move to Utah? Absolutely not. You can tell it's such a gorgeous state. So many things to do here. You're interested in the outdoors. You couldn't pick a better state. People have asked me like, oh, well, do you think I'd really like it in Utah? Well, it's like, you know what? I don't know. Come try it out. See what you think. If you like the outdoors, if you like hiking and biking and skiing, and you like even a handful of those things, you like a great family-friendly environment and things to do, this is definitely an amazing place to be. So if you're thinking about making a move or relocating to this beautiful state of Utah, feel free to give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and we'd love to connect with you. Take care.